Chapter 2. To move or not to move. When Emily and Amy got home, the first thing Amy did was sit down on her laptop. Hey Amy, I'm getting a snack. You want anything? Emily asked, but Amy was too focused. Amy, what are you looking at? She asked, looking down at her sister's computer. Whitechapel. You're looking at that town Mom and Dad told us about? Emily asked. Yeah, I am. I'm thinking about going there, Amy said, not looking up from her computer. As a visitor? Emily asked. No, as a student, Amy said. What? Why would you want to go there? You have a perfectly good life here, and we just saved the world. Again. And you want to go back to school? And in case you haven't noticed, we're dead, Emily explained. I know. It's just that we never finished high school. And since everything is back to normal, it could be a great opportunity for us. And it could be great for Cindy, Chloe, Amanda, and Lizzie, Amy explained. But what about Dakota? She's too young to go to high school. And the Angel Code says, under Section 5, Paragraph 3, angels are not allowed to leave their host until they are 18. And Dakota is not 18. She's 10, Emily argued. She could come with us, Amy said. I'm starting to think you forgot how old you need to be to go to high school, Emily said. No, it says right here that they're doing a program for ages 10 to 13 this year only. So that means she can go with us, Amy explained. Oh, I'm sure Dakota's just dying to go back to public school, Emily said. Come on, it will be fun. Besides, since I've been tutoring Dakota, she can do work most kids her age can't, Amy said. Mostly because the school system sucks. And do you think Cindy and the others would want to go? They're pretty happy where they are, Emily said. Won't know until we ask, Amy said. Well, either way, there are some new dance routines Mimi's been wanting to try out. I'm going to my computer to see what she has in mind. Let me know if you need anything, Emily said, walking away. Trust me, I don't need anything, Amy said, going back to her research. Hi, my name is Amy. I'm calling because a few friends and I are interested in enrolling in Whitechapel High, she told her over the phone. That's wonderful. Might I ask how old are you? A man said over the phone. I am 16 years old. 16, so you'll be in your sophomore year. Is that alright? He asked. No, I want to start at the freshman level. It's been years since I've been to school and I want to get a refresher. Oh, if that's the case, then you and your friends will be in that grade, the man said. Also, I want to ask about the Little Genius program, because I have a 10-year-old friend that I want to come with us. That's fine with me. After all, if she meets the requirements, she can come, the man said. That's great. Oh, what if anyone changes their mind? Amy asked. You have 3 days to make your enrollment official. I just need you and your friends to sign some papers. Oh, okay. Can you send me the enrollment papers? I'll send you my email address, Amy said. I can send you the papers, but I will need you to come to the school to verify everything. But I need to know, where do you live? Las Vegas, Amy said. You mean Las Vegas, Nevada? Do you live in the United States? He asked. Yes, I do. All of us do. Is that going to be a problem? Amy asked. No, we would love to have Americans here. As long as you make it here, then there is no problem, the man said. Great. Thanks, Principal Hicks. I am thrilled to be going here, Amy said, and I will be happy to be having you and your friends here. Just let me know if there are any problems, Hicks said. Don't worry, there will be none. I'll be going with them or alone. Thank you for your time, Amy said, hanging up, just as Emily came into the room. Slow clapping. Wonderful! Just wonderful! Emily said. Why are you clapping? Amy asked. My hands are not only asleep, but I have a cramp in my wrist. Now, do you want to tell the others that we're moving to another country, or shall I? Emily said with a smug smile on her face. It's not official until we sign these papers, which are almost done printing out. And we have 3 days, she said. Great! Just enough time for me to burn them! Emily said, reaching for the printer. No, Emily, even if the others don't want to go, I do, Amy said. I'm telling you, Amy, they're not going to like it when they hear you went behind their backs and enrolled everyone into a school that's halfway across the country. Who's the jerk now? Emily said. Still you, Amy said teasingly. Hurtful, Emily laughed. Come on, let's grab the girls. Even if they don't want to go, I should still tell them I'm leaving, Amy said. Yeah, I guess we should, Emily said, and they left. Amy, could you at least tell us why we're going to Dakota's house? Chloe asked. I already told you. Our family meetings need everyone there. That way we won't need to repeat ourselves, Amy explained. Still, you could at least give us a hint about what you're going to tell us, Lizzie said. I'll tell you soon, Amy chuckled. The girls came through the portal hidden in my closet. When they entered my bedroom, they saw our new friend Mimi sitting on my bed reading a book. Mimi, what are you doing here? Amy asked. Oh, hi, girls. I came here to see Dakota, she replied. Well, is she here? Emily asked. Not sure. She's normally in her room, so I thought maybe she's on a walk with her family, Mimi said. Did you check the entire house? Cindy asked. No. I thought Dakota would be up here, so I decided to stay here in case she comes back, Amy said. How long have you been here for? Amanda asked. About 30 minutes, Amy said, checking her watch. Go on, let's see if we can find her. We're having a family meeting, Amy said, opening the door. Ooh, my first family meeting with you girls, Amy said excitedly. The gang found me downstairs sitting on the couch with an ice pack on my leg. Hi, girls. Hi, Mimi. And how long have you been here? I asked. We just got here, Amy said. I've been upstairs waiting for you for 30 minutes, Amy said. Sorry, Mimi. I didn't hear you come in. I kind of had a little accident, I said, showing them the scrape on my knee. What happened? Amy asked. I was on a walk with my parents when I tripped and fell. It hurt to walk, so we came home. They're at the store now buying me some medicine, I explained. Here, let me take a look. Amy, I need some paper towels. Mimi, do you have any cotton balls? Cindy asked, getting out her medical bag. Amy and Mimi gave her the things she asked for and began applying dressing to my leg. Ah, that feels much better, I said. I had a feeling this would come in handy, Cindy said, wrapping my leg with bandages. Great, now that Dakota's leg is better, we need to talk, Amy said. What's going on, Amy? I asked. Can we sit at the dining room table? She asked. Sure, I think I can walk over there, I said. We all got seated and Amy began to speak. So today Emily and I went to visit our parents, and while we were there, I found out that they lived in a small town in Canada, Amy explained. Cool, I never knew your parents lived there, I said. Neither did we, Emily said. So after doing a little research and seeing that the school is still open, I decided that I want to go there, and I want you to come with me, Amy explained. What? Everyone exclaimed. You want us to go to Canada? Cindy asked. What about Dakota? You know we can't leave her until she's 18, Chloe said. We don't have to leave her. The school's doing a special program for ages 10 to 12. All Dakota needs to do is fill this out, Amy said, showing them the paper. Well, you certainly did your research, Amy said. That's my sister for you, Emily said. What's the town called? I asked. Whitechapel, Amy replied. I think I've heard of that town, Chloe said, just as the commercial came on TV. Hey, look, it's that commercial I was telling you about, Cindy said, as we rushed to see what she was talking about. I love you, a girl said. I'm not human, a boy who was a vampire said. I don't care. Bite me, I'm begging you, she said. Then we heard her scream. That movie about gorgeous vampires who try not to eat humans is back in this fall's most anticipated sequel. Unbitten, an announcer said. Dusk Free? They made another one? Emily said in disbelief. Well, yeah, there are 8 books in the series. Not that I've been counting, Chloe said. What's Dusk? Amy asked. A Twilight ripoff, Emily replied. What's Twilight? Amy asked. It's a vampire movie that's been popular with preteens and older, Amy replied. Ever since Twilight came out, vampire fever has been sweeping the nation like the plague. I still don't get how they managed to sell tickets for this garbage, Emily said. Trust me, Emily, you and the entire adult population have been asking this question for years, Amy said. So back to the matter at hand. Anyone want to go to school in Canada? Emily asked. I don't know, Amy. I like being homeschooled. Plus, I just got back. I think Mom and Dad would rather I stayed home for a while, I said. Yeah, I think I'm out too. Don't get me wrong, it does sound like a great opportunity, but we just saved the world. Again. It just doesn't sound like something I want to do right now, Cindy said. And I'm 5. You know, in angel years. I'm pretty sure they wouldn't want a 5-year-old going to high school, Chloe said. Yeah, and we would rather stay out of school for the rest of our angel lives, Amanda said. Not that going back to school would do anything for us anyway. Although it would be nice to be somewhere else to wind down for a bit, Lizzie said. Yeah, plus I have a mansion to look after, and going to school would really mess up my schedule, Mimi said. Mimi, I don't think Amy was going to bring you along, Emily said. Well, I never, Mimi said. Sorry, Amy, as much as it would be a nice opportunity, none of us think going back to school would benefit us in any way, Cindy said. Yeah, and I can't go to high school. Do you know how many 10-year-olds go to high school? I asked. No, Dakota, you will be 14 when you go, Emily said. Emily had a feeling you wouldn't want to go, but if you change your minds, you have 3 days to fill these forms out, Amy said, giving them the papers. So you're still going? Chloe asked. Yeah, it's a great opportunity for me, and after saving the world so many times, I want to live normally for once, Amy said. You do realize you're a cursed, heartless angel, right? Mimi asked. Just let me have this moment, please, Amy sighed. All of us spent time together for a while before everyone went home, but moving to Whitechapel was still on everyone's mind. So you're still going? You're sure you're not going to change your mind? Emily asked. I told you, Emily, I'm going with or without you, Amy said, getting a suitcase out. I still don't get it. You have a great afterlife with Dakota and the others, a superhero reputation, been to more worlds than I could count, and you're doing things most people dream of doing. And you want to forget all of that and go to a normal-born school? Emily asked. Look, Emily, I never asked for any of this. I never asked to die young in an RV accident. I never asked to become a cursed, heartless angel and be trapped in a castle for 6 months. I never asked to become a hero and save the world as many times as we had. And more importantly, I never asked to be a performer. I know this makes me sound ungrateful, but for once, I can live a normal life. At least for a little while. Even if you don't understand, this is a great opportunity for me, and I'm going to take it, Amy explained. Well, guess there's no stopping you. If you can't beat them, join them. I'm going with you, Emily said. You're coming with? Amy asked in disbelief. Of course I am. I always looked after you when we were in high school. You wouldn't last a week with all the bullies picking on nerds nowadays, Emily said. I don't know what to say. Thank you, Emily. It means a lot knowing I won't be alone, Amy said. No problem, but I have one condition, Emily said. What do you need? Amy asked. I need a new video camera, Emily replied. What happened to your old one? Amy asked. It fell off of a 2-story building when I was getting some shots for my vlog, she replied. I'm sure I can fix it or at least get the files out because that camera is trashed, Amy said when Emily showed it to her. Told you. Luckily, I know just the place to get a new one, Emily said. If you know where to get a new one, why do you need me to come? Amy asked. I need you to help me pay for it, Emily said, walking away. We don't even need to pay for things anymore, Amy said, going after her sister. Meanwhile, Cindy and Chloe came home and immediately began packing. After what Amy said, both girls knew this meant something to her. All right, almost ready. Passports? Cindy asked. Check, Chloe replied, sitting on a suitcase. Spare clothes? Cindy asked. Check, Chloe said. And finally, empty scrapbooks for memories, Cindy asked. Check, Chloe replied, holding one up. Great, all packed. Now all we need to do is wait for the others to reply, Cindy said. Isn't it weird how we're all moving to Canada? I mean, it's one thing to go as tourists, but as students, it just feels weird going to a place in our own universe, Chloe said. Did you know that Aunt Linda used to live in Canada? Cindy asked. No, I didn't, Chloe replied. Well, back when she was alive, and before you were born, Mom and Dad would plan trips in the summer, and we would spend 2 months with her in her old cabin. We would go every year until I was 8, Cindy explained. So why did you stop going? Chloe asked. You were born and it wasn't easy to travel with you at the time. Plus, Linda got really sick and didn't want guests over. Eventually, her illness got the better of her and she died when you were 3 and I was 11, Cindy said. Wow, she never told me that story, Chloe said. I guess going would be a nice way to honor her memory. I don't think she lived in Whitechapel, but she lived somewhere around there. We should keep an eye out for her grave, Cindy said. I'll bring a box of her favorite chocolates, Chloe said. I think she'll love that. Bring 2, Cindy said, hugging her sister close as she laughed. Even though Emily, Cindy, and Chloe were going to Whitechapel, Amanda, Lizzie, myself, and Mimi were still not sure. In fact, Mimi was sitting at a cafe in Flipside with her friends Old Chunks, Anastasia, and Dementio, lost in thought about what to do. So lost, in fact, she didn't hear the story that Dementio was telling them.
And then I said, "Sir, that's not a crystal ball, that's a cabbage,"
Dimentio said, making everyone but Mimi laugh.
"Oh, that's a good one, Dimentio,"
Old Trunks said. Though I must ask, why did you have a cabbage in your magic shop? Anastasia asked.
"Oh, it's for my lunch. I've been enjoying the fresher things in life,"
Dimentio replied. Good one, Dimentio, Mimi said, still not there.
"Hey, Mimi, you've been really quiet today. What's wrong? You love laughing at my magic shop stories,"
Dimentio asked. It's just that Amy wants to move everyone to a small town for school, and I don't know if I want to go, Mimi explained.
"Where is this town at?"
Old Trunks asked. It's called Whitechapel, a town in Canada in Dakota's universe, she replied.
"Hey, cool, did you know that there's French territory in Canada?"
Dimentio asked. How do you know that? Mimi asked.
"Chloe's been tutoring me about the history of her world. It's pretty interesting,"
Dimentio said.
"Oh, it is to you. There's nothing but war, fighting, and slavery, not to mention the Yankee stuff,"
Old Trunks said.
"I know, that's why it's so interesting,"
Dimentio said, causing everyone to glare at him.
"What? I am the master of dimensions, the pleaser of crowds, and the wielder of chaos,"
Dimentio said. Yep, right up your alley, Anastasia said. Mimi, look, if you want to go, all of us will support you, Anastasia said. That's just it. I don't know if it's what I want. I've never been outside my own dimension. Plus, it's been so long since I've joined Count Blick that I've forgotten how to live normally. I won't fit in. Plus, I'm made of paper, Mimi explained.
"Mimi, whenever I was unsure of anything, I always remember the wise words me old grandma told me. You only live once. Take chances, take risks. If you don't take a chance, you might be missing out. What I'm saying is, your friends are going somewhere new. It's okay to be scared, but if you let your fear stop you, you'll miss out on a great adventure. Also, you could get the chance to branch out your performance career,"
Old Trunks explained. Thanks, Old Trunks. You're right, but I'm still not sure, Mimi said.
"There's lots of cute boys in high school,"
Dimentio said. I am so going to Whitechapel, Mimi said excitedly.
"See, you just needed the right motivation,"
Dimentio said. Well, Mimi, we'll miss you, but have fun, okay? Anastasia said. What am I doing sitting here? I gotta finish up and start packing, Mimi said as she enjoyed her lunch with her family. Lumiere, formerly known as Count Black, and his wife Timpani, also known as Timpy, came up to greet them. Sorry to intrude, but we couldn't help but overhear your conversation, Timpani said.
"We are happy to know that you made your decision. And after everything I've put you through, I think this will give you the chance to live your life as a normal girl. Mimi, make some new friends and find true love. And when you return, we want to hear all about it,"
Lumiere said. So, where are you two lovebirds off to? Anastasia asked. We're going on our honeymoon, Tippity said.
"You've been married for 6 months, and you still haven't had your honeymoon?"
Old Trunks asked. Oh, Trunks, don't be rude, Mimi, Anastasia, and Dimentio shouted. No, it's quite all right. Old Trunks is right. We spent so much time enjoying each other's company that it never crossed our minds, Tippity explained.
"It was Princess Peach's idea. She thought a honeymoon would bring us closer together. So we decided to take a tour around the Mushroom Kingdom. We'll be gone for a while, but we'll bring back souvenirs," Lumiere explained. "You're leaving again? Well, you just got back a month ago,"
Dimentio said. We're still in the planning stage, so we'll be sticking around for a little while longer. But we are thinking about leaving in about 2 to 3 weeks, Timpani explained. Well, enjoy your trip, Mimi said. Thanks, and enjoy yours, Timpani said, walking off with her one true love. Mimi finished eating and left to get her things ready. She double-checked with Emily after getting a text about surprising Amy, now that everyone else was on board. Mimi got packed and started filling out her enrollment form. She got another text from Emily telling her to meet at my house for the surprise. Mimi got her suitcase packed, her form filled out, and left for my house, saying goodbye to her friends as she passed them by. Now back at my house, I was texting my friends back and forth with Ismanda and Lizzie by my side. After Emily and the others left, Ismanda and Lizzie stayed to look after me since my leg was still a little sore. When my parents got home with the medicine, I told them all about Amy's plans to move to Whitechapel. After looking over the form Amy gave me and talking it over, they decided it wouldn't be a bad opportunity for me, and said that I could go if I wanted to. Not long after that, I got a text from Emily, Cindy, Chloe, and Mimi saying they're going. I told them that I could go too, and we devised a plan to surprise Amy. I started filling out my form and had Ismanda and Lizzie help me. isn't it weird that we're going back to high school? Lizzie asked. Yeah, but I'm excited. It will be nice to have a change of scenery. Plus, Dakota and Chloe's allergies will be better there anyway, Isvana said. Doesn't Chloe have a pine needle allergy? Lizzie asked. Well, at least Dakota's will be better, Isvana said. Hey, are you almost done? Everyone will be here any minute, and Emily is bringing Amy, Isvana said. I have one more thing to do, I said. Which one is it? Lizzie asked. Put name here, I replied. I hate that one, Isvana said. Really? Lizzie and I asked. Nah, I'm just messing with you. But have you seen how complicated my name is? Isvana said, just as Cindy, Chloe, and Mimi came downstairs. So, everyone ready? Cindy asked. Remember, once we do this, there's no going back, Chloe said. I'm done. So, when is Emily coming over? I asked. She'll be here in 10 minutes. She's just making a pit stop, Cindy said. So, have you been to the store before? Amy asked. From time to time I do. It's one of those stores that have a lot of weird stuff in it, Emily explained. And there's a camera here, Amy asked. Yeah, and it's real cheap too, Emily said, walking inside. The girls looked around for the camera Emily was looking for. Can I help you ladies? The store clerk asked. Yeah, I'm looking for a camera that was on sale. It's a small silver one, Emily explained. Oh, that one. Yes, it's right over there. But you look like someone who enjoys the rarer things in life. Allow me to show you them. The clerk said, showing them 4 eggs. What are those? Emily asked. They're eggs, Amy said. Well, I can see that, but what I mean is, what type of eggs? Emily asked. These eggs are not ordinary ones. They come from a land where fantasy pets roam. But unfortunately, monsters came and made them lose their powers. I'll throw the pets' eggs, the things you'll need to take care of them, the camera, and these magic hats, the clerk said, showing them 3 hats. More magic hats? I thought we had the only ones, Emily said. Let's just say there are more than just Kirby hats that have magical abilities. You just need to know where to look, he said. So, I'll give you the ice, fire, and speed hats. Sorry to say, I'm out of flying hats, but I'll have more in the next few weeks, he said. What do you think? Want to grab the pet eggs? Emily asked. Well, how much will that be altogether? Amy asked. The camera is 20, but I'll throw everything else for free, the clerk said. Deal, Amy said. Really? Emily asked. Well, it's a good deal. Plus, eggs hatch, so better take them off his hands before they do, Amy explained. Here's 25. Keep the change. Now, if you'll excuse us, we have to go, Amy said. Pleasure doing business with you. Here you go. Come again, the clerk said, handing them the things they brought. Hey, let me know when you get a flight hat in stock, Emily said. I'll put one on hold for you, he said. Thank you, she said as they left. Wow, that was really nice of you to buy these pets, Emily said. Well, Dakota loves Pets Fantasy, and since we're leaving, might as well get something for her, Amy said. Yeah, we should go give them to her. Do you think she can take care of 4 pets with magical powers? Emily asked. I'm sure the others will keep some too. And if they need to, they can always buy more stuff for them, Amy said. You're right. Now come on, let's get these pets to Dakota, Emily said. Emily and Amy came through the portal, came downstairs to be greeted to all of us. What are you guys doing here? Amy asked. Amy, we've been thinking. This means a lot to you, and we didn't realize that until we talked it out. So, we came together and came to an agreement that we're going with you, Cindy said, making Amy gasp. We filled out our forms, and we're ready to go, I said, showing Amy your filled paperwork. You did, and you got all the questions correct, Amy said, including the put name here one, Emily said. You know that's got the hard one, Amy said. It is when you couldn't remember how to spell your name until 3rd grade, Emily said. All of you did this for me? Amy asked. Of course we did. You're our best friend, Cindy said. And our old fearless leader, Chloe added. I love you guys, Amy cried, moved to tears by our act of kindness. But wait, I brought these Pets Fantasy eggs for Dakota as a gift because we were leaving. Now that we're all going, what are we going to do with them? Amy asked. Bring them with us. I'm sure we can keep them hidden until they can return to the magic world, I said. She's right, you know, Amy said. All right then, it's settled. Tomorrow we'll hit the road, Amy said. Tomorrow? everyone exclaimed. Well, yeah, we have a week before school starts. Might as well get situated now. Unless you want to leave in a day or two, Amy said. You know what they say, better now than never, Amy said. She's right. It'll take a few days to fly there. Not to mention it will take a while to clean up and unpack. So tomorrow it is, Emily said. All in favor? I said, holding my hand up. Aye! Everyone shouted. It's unanimous. Tomorrow it's off to Whitechapel we go, I said. And so with the date set, tomorrow we'll set out for our new home. But unknown to us, this will mark the beginning of our greatest adventure yet.